In this video, we're going to talk about how did a pro do it. We're going to talk specifically about that flop shot video of Phil Mickelson where he flops it over somebody or a poster of himself and how he's able to do it. Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you here, coming back from the PGA show. So sorry we've been a little bit busy. Had a booth down there for our company, Discover Golf. It was great. Thanks to everybody that stopped by, and excited to share more with that as we go forward. But back here in Chicago, it's going to be negative 50 this week, so fantastic. And feeling a little under the weather, but going to get through this one and show you a little bit about what it takes to hit this shot that we saw Phil Mickelson hit. So I want to show you that shot and what we're talking about here.
So I don't know if the ground is going to be too, oh, that's firm, that'll be all right.
So you can see in this shot, this is a flop shot. This is the super flop. And I get a lot of questions of how he was able to do this. There's a couple of things that you want to take into account. One, it's Phil Mickelson, some of the greatest hands we've ever seen, but there are some things that you can do that could help you elevate the ball really quickly, because I think this is actually a really good shot. I've heard, Tiger Woods talk about this too, where if you hit this shot with a lot of speed, a lot of loft, it actually lets you hit the ball higher and get the ball to come down softer, so you can actually take some of the longer trouble out of play, especially if you're in thick rough. Even though we're going to work off of a tight lie here, but it's just the ideas that you can take to various parts around the green that are really going to help you. So how did he hit it? Well, the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need loft. So Phil, I'm going to assume, was using his 64-degree wedge. We know he carries that in the bag. So I've got a 60-degree wedge. That's as much as I've got. And so that's going to put me at a disadvantage right off the bat, but I can still work from there. Now, when you get to the actual shot, you're going to hear him do the first thing. One was he checked the lie. And you heard him say, all right, he thought the ground might be too soft. And they said, nope, it's okay. And why does it matter if the ground's soft or not? Because what's going to happen on this shot is we're going to be using the bounce. I'm going to be throwing the bounce into the ground really, really hard, okay? And if I do that and it's really soft, what happens is the ground gives way. The bounce will start pushing the ground out of the way. And so you kind of get like it's just like a splat of dirt and mud, and then the ball just doesn't go anywhere. So you need it to be somewhat firm. Now, you could say on the other end, you don't want it like British Open firm. You'd have to experiment with that. Although I would be willing to bet Phil could do some crazy things off that too. But because the ground was the right firmness, feels like, all right, I can hit the ground with the bounce. It's not going to move it out of the way. I'm still going to have the club go under the ball and be able to do what I needed to do. So that was a big key to the shot. The other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need speed, okay? So if I'm going to be coming at this golf ball, here, and I'm going to be delivering loft to it, I need it to go up, okay? So I need speed on this thing to send the golf ball up. So I see too many people try to hit lofted lob shots where they don't send the ball up enough with enough speed, all right? So when the club is coming in with the amount of loft we're talking about, this thing's going to be looking almost skyward. Speed is critical to elevate the ball, all right? That's why this shot can be great to use on shots where the trouble is long. Because if you're in thick rough, you can swing really hard to get out of the rough, but it's only just going to send the ball skyward, okay? It's not going to send it farther when you do this shot, okay? And then so we know a couple of things right off the bat. We know we're going to need bounce, right? So the ground's got to work for us. We're going to need loft and speed to go with it. So the loft part, again, the club does a lot of it, okay? But how we hit this shot really is going to dictate in how we move the club and how that's going to dictate what loft we get when we go to hit this thing. So if I'm going to hit this shot, I've got to have this feel that I'm coming in with almost like negative shaft lean. I'm going to be leaning this club backwards here. I'm going to be really trying to add loft through the hit. That's going to expose the bounce more, which is good. Again, we've already talked about that. It's also going to say, all right, hey, This ball is going to go skyward with some speed, okay? So you need those three elements to hit this shot. You can help with the loft part by, you can move the ball forward. The problem is you still got to go down underneath it, so you got to experiment with that a little bit. If I go too far forward, that club's going to want to be ascending and hit the, and you're going to blade them, right? You're going to hit the middle of the ball with the leading edge of the club. That's no good, okay? And then you also can start experimenting with how much you lean the shaft at the start, okay? I would recommend for this shot, you're not going to be leaning it forward. We see Phil's pretty neutral as he's hitting the shot. So a couple of those things, again, let's just recap them. I'm going to check the lie, make sure I can hit it without having the ground give way. I've got a good lie. I also am going to look at, all right, I've got to get loft, all right, and I've got to keep loft, if not add it through the shot. And I've also got to see if I can make some speed to send this ball upward, all right? If I'm going to hit a shot that goes up and over something really quick, then and come down really softly, I need speed to send it up. And that's what's going to make this shot work. It's not necessarily going to spin a lot. It could, but it's going to be the trajectory that comes down and makes it really stop really quickly. So let's give it a shot here and see what we can get. So what I'm going to try to do is about 4 feet in front of me, this net up here is about 10 feet tall, okay? So we're going to see if we can get one up there, okay? We'll see if I can get it up and have it stop on top of the net, just for, you know, why not? Okay, so add loft, speed. I like the ball a little forward. I do open my stance a little bit, but you don't have to. Oh, almost had it. Well, that's going to be a game. There we go. You can see that club slid right underneath it. Perhaps if I had that extra 4 degrees, which would play a lot in that, that would help. But you can see that club slide under. You could hear the thud of that club coming right down underneath the ball and then sending that ball really skyward. Great shot to have, especially if you're playing course with tricky greens, a lot of hazards around. Gives you just another shot to go to when you are around the greens. It's a lot of fun and looks really cool when you do it too, but it has a lot of use in helping you get up and down to shoot lower scores. So again, thanks everybody for watching this video. We would love to show you more about what we saw at the PGA show. Make sure you comment down below. Let us know if you like this video, if you want to know more about how they did it. We've got PGA Tours starting, so let us know, and we'd love to share that with you. And again, as always, please subscribe if you like this video, and make sure you click the like button as well. That really does help, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.